Hey, this is the last day of May month. So, I like month May, I like all months, but initially May used to be my favorite month. So everything that brought up and let down, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, for all nine shots, boys and beyonds. Okay, welcome guys. Today the topic is what is a question? So you guys interested to learn more about questions?
Yes.
Yes.
So let us start with a question is a possibility that will open something different. A question is what is where things start to change. And of all the animal species, now all the animals know how to be themselves, right? We've already talked a few about animals when you've joined my classes, because I believe in learning a lot from animals. So all of the animals know how to be themselves. None of them is trying to be someone else. But then they do what they're meant for. Like if the elephant is taking care of the forest, cutting trees, like not cutting, destroying trees so that they grow, paving pathways so that people walk, it does it really well. If the bee is in charge of actually a lot of other species, because the bees go get nectar from one plant and get pollen, and they transfer the pollen, and that's how the flowers move from one place to the other. The birds play an important part in trees growing in one place to the other. Even the orangutans, those big orange monkeys, they actually have the job of creating a whole forest. They will move from one forest to the other, take the seeds with them, and they will enable the seeds to fall from one place to the other, creating a whole biodiversity. So all these animals have particular jobs, and they do them really well, and they trust themselves. But you, as a human or a humanoid, have the power to question. You have the power to ask, can I change this? Instead of doing the same thing the same way, you have the power to ask for change. Now, the animals will change, will adapt if required. So if there's not enough water in the forest, they will always go and figure out where else they can get water. They will always find ways to continue doing what they're doing. But what if we have the power to question and change all the ways? That's the power you've been given if you use questions. And what if it's so simple that with one question, you can change a lot of things? So now the basis of what are the types of questions? What is a question? A question is something that will create a new possibility for you. It can create a whole new possibility for the universe if you ask it that way. So how would you like to ask the question? And when we come back to a question, why is not a question. If you say, why did this happen to me? Why did this go wrong? Why does it not work for me? It works for everyone else except me. Why is this happening? So I think all of you might have heard this tool, but why is not a question at all. So let's avoid saying why, because when you say, why did this happen? You're already concluding. You're not opening a door, you've closed a door. So question is something that can open a new possibility for you and for everyone, depending on how we ask it. A question is what will enable change. A question is what is the power that's given to us to co-create with the universe, to say what would it be like for all the animals to thrive, to be able to change what is going on with the energy of a question rather than the energy of a thought. Because the energy of a thought is, this is how it should be, this is how the door should be, this is how I should walk. But the energy of a question is just a door. And if I walk into it, something more magical can happen, because the universe is co-creating with me when I ask a question. It is not one mind, it is not only my mind at work, it is something beyond my mind, something so much bigger than me that is supporting me when I ask a question. So we will never say why. From today, please eliminate that from your vocabulary. Why did this happen to me? Why did this person do it to me? Why did this go wrong? How many of you ask, why did this go right? Does anyone ever ask that? So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and girls. How many of you have ever said that this is so amazing, it's so right for me? Why did it happen right? No, we always get into wrongness. Why did this person cheat me? Why did this person do this way? why did the universe be unkind to me? Now that's the most stupidest question to ever ask. Why did the universe be unkind to me, or God is unkind to me? If you come to these conclusions, you're working against yourself, because the universe is just there to say, whatever you are so powerful, you're as powerful as me. If you ask a question, I will co-create with you. That's what the universe is saying. So if you take something as powerful as that, and you say something as stupid as, why are you not supporting me, it will support you in that also. It is always looking to support you. So when you say, why is the universe not taking care of me, it will make sure it will have to not take care of you, even if it doesn't want to. So never ask a why question regarding the universe. That's the highest level of self sabotage you can do to yourself, unless you really hate yourself. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So I hope all of us at least like ourselves, or at least let's start liking ourselves from now. So if you really want to change your life, do not fight with the universe. Do not fight against God. It just backfires on you. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then when you say the universe never supported me, the universe will support you so much that that will be right. Wherever you go, you get zero support. Why? Because you are so powerful in creating that. No, not because no one wants to support you, or not even because the universe doesn't want to support you. And to add to it, you get back pain also. Like, no one is supporting me. Why is the universe not at all supporting me? It's not a question, it's a conclusion that will sabotage you, and it'll create something in your body. So every form of judgment also creates something unwanted in our body. It creates something that is not good for our body. So that is why we let go of conclusion and move into questions. Okay, what is a question? A question is something, it's an immunization to this reality. It can help you get out of all the effects of this reality. So a question is a response. A question is a response. So what if all of us can move away from reacting to responding? Because we've always reacted in the past. When any situation came, you have reacted. You've said, okay, this won't work, or why is it happening again? When you say why, it is a reaction. So any question that you've used, any time in the past, we have reacted. Now, if you do the same reaction again in the present, what will you create? The same future. So I need to move away. I need to respond differently here. A question is what can help you get there. So every time I have to react. If someone says, I don't like this about you, or the same situation comes, someone is harming you, someone is affecting you, if you have the same reaction, it will not work. It'll work the same way. So instead of getting into why is this happening to me, I use a question, a simple question. How does it get better than this? Basic question of access. The simplest one, what else is possible? Even these two questions can change a lot of things. So when the situation comes very similar to the last time, very similar, that your friend is betraying you, or someone is stealing from you, it does happen most of the time. What do? How does it get better than this? Because the question is what can change the situation for you. If I conclude, and the natural instinct is to react the same way we did in the past, because we're so used to that. That's what your subconscious throws up. But let's go beyond that. Let us go beyond that and not allow our own programming to stop us. So question is an immunization to this reality. You can be immune to whatever is happening around you, to whatever, however tough the situation is, when I choose to ask a question. So instead of reaction, where do I go? I go to a question. What is a question? A question does not start with why or how. Let us forget all these questions that we learned in English grammar and anything that starts with W. Why is not a question. How is not a question. You never say, how will this happen? Because when you say, how will this happen, it's a doubt. You have no idea. Do you guys have an idea how things will happen? Especially when the situation is like so different and so unique. You have no idea how it's going to show up. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine a solution to your problem? Sometimes you can't. And then you will like, whichever way it goes, it's going to work against me. So you'll end up imagining the worst possibilities. So how is also not a question that I should bother about, because there's something else that's so powerful that is willing to do all the how for me, that's willing to support me 90% in how things fall in place. So let me leave the how to the universe. Instead of how, if you ever think about how should I do this, how will this happen, let's ask a question: what choice can I make here, or what action can I take here? How means you have to make the next step, you have to take an action for the next step. And as you take an action step by step, things will fall in place. So that's what it is. I don't have to, I don't even have to think how will this happen, because the co-creator, which is the universe with me, if you allow it to create with you, if you say that why is the universe working against me, then it doesn't work. Or if you don't believe that you are the co-creator with the universe, then also at times it may not work. But actually it always works, always works. The universe is always taking care of you, creating with you. It's just that you will not be able to perceive or see the beauty of it. Okay, you can use how does it get any better than this. That is just saying how does it get better. It's not saying how can I achieve this, how will this happen. It's only when you start thinking of how the how will happen, those are the questions that are not supposed to be used. So for example, if you would like some money, it's a huge amount of money which you have no idea how it'll come. Can you think about it? If you think about it, you break your head and you're like, there's no way I can achieve this, and you stop yourself. But if you say, what choice can I make here, instead of thinking how it'll happen, step by step you will be shown. Someone will call you and there would be an opportunity, there will be possibilities that keep showing up. Okay, so a question is an antidote. So whenever there's any sort of problems or anything, when you have any medical problems, or we take all these antidotes to overcome what we have, right? So a question is like that. It is what will allow you to get out of all the poison of this reality. So what question can you start becoming to let go of all the toxicity and the poison of this reality, and everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Are you willing to ask a question so powerful that it can change everything that's happening? Yes? Yes. Please be willing to ask the question.
Yes.
And then how do you support your question? So I've asked a question. What would it be like for me to change what's happening right now? And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So support your question by asking questions again, not by getting into, this has not yet happened. I have no idea how this will happen. I wonder how this will happen. I've asked the universe. I wonder how it will happen. Not how will it happen, or I don't know how it will happen. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So what can you be or do different? To ask the question in such a way, with the energy that is congruent to the question, so that all your desires fall in place in faster and better ways than you can imagine. And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So when you ask a question, even how does it get better than this? If you're congruent with the energy of the question, it actually carries over as a question to the universe. And that is the door of possibility. But if you just say the words without meaning them, like when you say, I can't trust myself, what would it be like for me to trust myself? But the energy with which you say is, when you say, what would it be like for me to trust myself? The underlying energy itself is, I don't trust myself. Then at times questions may not work. So if questions are not working for you, the energy with which you ask it has to change. Because the universe is not listening exactly to your words, it is listening to the vibrations along with the words. So I don't ask a question with doubt. If I do, the door that I can open reduces. The question will still work, something will still change. But would you like to be that? Would you like to be that possibility that can change things? So you can be the change to create the change that you're looking for. All of us are looking for some change or the other. Hopefully. If not, that is also fine. If you're so happy with whatever is going on, that's perfect too. Whatever works for you. But all of us are looking to change something. So we're looking to change something. Who can change that? Okay, someone please answer. It's getting too silent. So who can change that?
Our point of views?
Yes. You can change that by changing your points of view. So how does it get better than that? So what change can you be to create the change that you desire in the world? And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. How do you be the change? How do I be the change? If I want something, I would like a greater planet. I would like more money. I would like a new job. Whatever you like. How would you be that change?
Choose. Choice.
Choice. Yes. You choose to be the change, but still you may not know how do I create something so magnificent? My vision is for, let's say, the earth to thrive. If you don't have that vision, please have it, because if the earth thrives, only you can thrive. It's actually not as selfless as we think. It we
But it is, there is no how in excess. We just choose.
we just choose.
Question?
Yes. Who has a question?
It's me, Mamta. Can be in a question and change.
Yes, question. So there is no how, but then people get an access, but then people get a lot into the how. How will this fall in place? And when you get into the how, you lose the plot. So a question is how you overcome the how. So I would like, this is what I would desire. What can I be to actualize this? You ask the question. And then you keep asking the same question or a different question. What can I be to actualize this? Whenever the how comes into, how will this happen? But this is impossible at this moment. I've ran through all the possibilities in my head and it seems impossible. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. If it seems impossible, you have played the how in your head and you cannot figure out a how. If it seems possible, you will figure out the how. Okay, I want this person will pay me today. I would like money, this person is going to pay me. But that also doesn't work at times, most of the time. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So instead of getting into how will this happen, or this is the way it will happen, what if I ask? What if I continue to be the question that makes sure the next door opens up and I keep walking and talking and living as the question? So instead of how, what choice can I make here? What can I be to actualize this? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. Even if I don't know how it's going to happen, I trust universe. I have faith in you. Thank you for supporting me so far. I wonder what you will pull off to make this happen. And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive, that will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So when you don't know how it will happen, it's not panic mode, it's adventure mode. It's like, oh my God, something I've never seen before is going to happen in my life. Would you like that? Or would you get into this, it won't happen this way, it won't happen this way, it's not going to happen? Because every thought that you have is being propagated to the universe. The universe is listening to every thought and every energy with the underlying points of view, all layers of with what you're asking. And that is exactly what will show up in your external environment. So if you'd like to know what you're thinking and what layers of thinking are happening, it's good to take a look at your external environment. That will actually tell you if everything is working, you're questioning right, you're thinking right. If things are not working, there is some point of view that is still there, which you have to change or let go. So everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive, what are the underlying points of view that is stopping you from being a question, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot,
Yes.
pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So everything that is making you fear the adventure that a question and life can offer you, that you're refusing to choose, will you now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, reclaim, resigned, destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. And let me always ask a question with more so that my underlying point of view changes. I trust myself. What can I be or do different to trust myself even more? When I say more, I'm already acknowledging that I have some of it and I would like more. So that changes the whole energy of the question you ask. Because when I say, even if I say, how does it get better? And I'm like, everything is bad. It's the worst thing that's happening in my life. And I say, how does it get better? I've already decided I'm at the worst point. It will get better. But because I'm at my worst point, it can get better only very little. So let me always ask, how does it get better with the energy of everything is amazing. I am amazing. How does it get even better than this? With that energy of wonder, I am so grateful for everything I have. How can I make it even better? That changes a lot of things without an expectation. Now, why should we not have an expectation when I say, how does it get better than this? Anyone wants to answer that?
It's like
Because
when you
It
kind of
limits our
expect it,
receiving.
It limits your
yeah,
receiving.
because you're expecting it in a certain way, you're not open to the different ways it can come into your life.
Very good.
Most of the things I've
Expectation is a
actualized,
decision.
I've asked with no point of views.
Yes.
Expectation is a decision.
Expectation is a decision. Yeah. When I say, how does it get better than this, with any expectation that it'll happen in 2 days, or this is what will happen, I have reduced the power of the question I've asked, because it's not only a question now, it's a question with an expectation. It is not a true question. And when it's a question with an expectation, my presence has reduced. The universe is hearing the question plus the decision plus the expectation. And then what happens is you have to get it within 2 days. The universe is the master of time, but it's very funny because the master of time does not have a concept of time the way you have it.
Nithya, could an expectation also be a conclusion that it has to happen in this manner? So then
Yes.
a conclusion limits you because it doesn't leave the door of possibilities open.
That is correct. But what I'm trying to get to is any sort of conclusion. Even if you conclude after, how does it get better than this? It's okay if it happens later. It's okay if it doesn't happen. It's not only like this is the way you expect it. Any sort of conclusion you make will stop the power of at which the question you've asked will kind of reduce what you can create with the universe. So that's what I was
Depends,
trying.
juniors.
Yes.
Nithya, I have a question.
Yes, Mansi.
Yes, Nithya, supposedly when we have a targeted point, like supposedly I'm going to travel on this day, or I'm expecting to pay my EMI on this date. So when there are certain things where there is already a target or date which we have to achieve, and we are asking question around it. So what question can we ask there, where we are also surrendering and we are also wondering what can happen? At the same time, we have a certain expectation that, okay, this is the date which I have to perform, or I have to give this exam, and this result I'm expecting. So what question can we ask there?
What can I be to actualize this with ease in faster and better ways than I can imagine before my targets? Everything that does not allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. And here the thing to notice, when we say no expectations, it's not that I don't have targets or deadlines or, I don't do this by this time. No expectations is when I ask a question, what can I be to do this? The how it will happen is where I have no expectations.
Okay.
So that's where we get into. If I have to pay a bill today, I have to pay a bill today. I cannot say I don't expect to pay it today because I don't have expectations.
Yeah.
That's not the way it is. It is, there are some actions we have to do, And then there are questions. So actions we do by including this reality. Even though access is a beautiful tool to get us function from a different reality, we have to include this reality. If you have phone bills to pay, you have to pay it. Otherwise, you're going to cut off your phone. You probably can use the tools and get someone else to pay it for you. All those things can happen. A new possibility can show up. But in the end, what we are looking for, we still do the appropriate action for that. Now, before doing the action, we can always ask a question: what will this choice create for me? So that I do the greatest action. So if I want to pay my son's school fees, I've been asking literally every day, what will this choice create for me? And I paid it yesterday. I didn't pay it for the last 2 months because I was not feeling light. There is some conversation going on that we will reduce the school fees. This will happen, that will happen. So I'm also looking out for that. But yesterday it was like, it's time to pay. So you do the action based on what is light for you. And the no expectations is in asking the questions that you ask, and also in seeing how it comes. What is the reason behind asking a question?
Thank you, Nithya.
Thank you. The reason behind asking a question is to open up a new world for you. When you say, what would it be like for me to change this? When you ask a question, you open the door for change. You co-create differently with the universe. If you don't ask a question, you're going to co-create the same way. And again, why is this going wrong in my life? It's not a question. We don't conclude. We always ask a question. What is the difference between an affirmation and a question? An affirmation is a positive statement. A question is different. An affirmation is, this is what I would like. A question is, I open the door to something beyond what I can imagine. Friends, if you would like to live life like an adventure, then questions is, what is it? If you would say, I'm happy, and that's all you're looking for, that's an affirmation. But if you say, I wonder, what are the different ways in which I can be happy? Then we open a door for things beyond our imagination. So an affirmation will still limit you in some way. A question is just opening the door to go beyond limitation. And when I open the door with a question, the next step I take, the more I keep asking questions step by step, the more I will open different possibilities. But if I start concluding at any point after opening the door of question, I can still limit myself. So moment by moment, step by step, what if you can live as a question? And what if you can be the question? What if you can live every moment with, what is a question? Wonder, curiosity, excitement, is it not? When you say, okay, how would you like to, when you're working with your colleagues, how would we like to take this forward? What can we do here to change this? The energy of the question itself is, I'm enjoying this. I wonder how I can change it. Curiosity. I would like something greater. That's what a question is. A new possibility. Rather than, I know this is what it is and I would like it this way. If you are courageous enough to get into a new possibility. So everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive, that will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Sorry, you had a question.
Can I say something here? Affirmation has answer in itself, right?
It
And
does.
question has no answer, right?
So if we want a consistent change, we just keep questioning.
Yes, if you, not even consistent change, you are the change. And it may be so dynamic when you ask a question. Every day is so dynamic and different when you keep asking questions. For every moment, if I can live as, how does it get better than this? I wonder how this can change. Or if you don't want change, still you can say, how does it get better? How does it get better? And question can dynamically change things in your life. What else is possible? Very, very powerful question. If you ask it that way, I have no idea how to sort this. And I'm willing for the universe to give me such an adventurous way to sort this out. What else is possible? What else is possible that I've never considered before? What else is possible that I've never thought of? What else is possible that I've never imagined? That is the power of what else is possible. It will change every molecule in the universe to give you a solution of possibility that you've never imagined, that you've never thought of, that you've never heard of. Are you willing to receive that?
Yes.
Everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad,
Yes.
9 shots, boys and beyonds. So this is how the universe will work. Now, if I say what else is possible, the universe starts rearranging things to give me the possibility. So let me hold on to the energy of the question. What else is possible? I wonder how it will happen until it actualizes. In between, if I start saying it's not yet happened, I don't know how to make it happen. What if it doesn't happen? Then you lose the power of the question. You confuse the universe. So everyone who is so good at confusing yourself and confusing the universe and still believe you're asking a question when you're not, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So all of you who are so good at confusing yourself, confusing the universe, and still believing that you're asking a question when you're not, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. And it's not about asking the question, it's about being the question. You can say what else is possible with 0 energy and you get 0 output. And then you get 0 output and you're back into conclusion. Nothing happened. This question did not work. It'll not work. So what are the underlying points of view that I have about asking questions that is not allowing me to be the question when I ask it? Will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What are all the underlying points of view that I have when I'm asking a question, so that I'm not being the question when I ask it? Will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. What can I be and do different to live in wonder, excitement, curiosity, and receive the adventure of life? With every question I ask and be, and everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. By the way, just because it's a what doesn't mean everything is a question. So if you say, what is my fault here? Okay, that's not a question. That's a conclusion. So let's not take it literally. When I say what and how, don't take it literally like every what question is a question. It is not that way. You can also say, what wrong did I do here? Again, that's not a question. It's not about the what, it's about what are you asking with that? Are you asking to blame yourself? Are you asking to blame someone else? Are you saying that this is something I can never overcome? What is the energy with which you're asking the question? Or are you getting into the joy of living? The joy of living and saying, how will my next adventure be? And what if every moment I'm going to live as an adventure? So does this make sense to you guys? Is it going beyond your head? Is anyone getting what I'm saying? Okay.
So much fun, actually. It's lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. How does it get better? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and girls. What is the difference between excitement and enthusiasm? Okay, that's a tough question. I think we have to go back to English grammar, which I don't want to at this point, but I will give it a shot. Excitement is that feeling, when something excites you, this is good, this is something that I like. It's a beyond that happens based on the situation. You may or may not be sure that I'm going to be excited about this. It could be in the spur of the moment. Enthusiasm is like more, I'm really enthusiastic about this. This is something I would like to do. It's more tied with a passion, or I can be really enthusiastic about a lot of things, because I am enthusiasm is excitement plus liking to do, plus going ahead with the action. Excitement is just this is more of a feeling. I think that's what I'm getting today. So right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds.
Can I answer that, please, Nithya?
Sorry?
Can I answer that, please? Can I try? Enthusiasm, excitement.
You want to answer it?
Yeah, please. Can I, with your permission?
Okay.
Excitement is momentary. It just happens. And enthusiasm has a passion and a thought behind it. and it has to, you have been working on it. That becomes your enthusiastic about it. I hope I'm right.
I think you said more or less what I say, so I will. So let's say both of us are right. So
No,
everything.
no. I'm not saying. I just felt
Right,
like it is momentary. Excitement, you really get excited about something.
Yeah.
And you have not planned it. All of a sudden it happens.
Yeah. When you asked you're right, I will always say you're right. So I will not argue with that.
Thank you. Okay, sorry.
We don't have to ask whether we're right. We just have to believe in ourselves. When we give love to someone, we expect more from them and we don't get it. We get depressed. How to overcome? So you're not giving, you have to learn to gift. When you give, you're expecting something in return. When you gift, you're expecting nothing in return. And then it's all, the gift is so much more because there is no extra energy attached to it. It's only a gift. And if you give to anyone or anything, you shall receive from the universe godzillion times. That person may never give it back. It's fine. There are better things than that person anyway. Everything that brought up and let down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So don't get depressed. When you get depressed, you're not being a question. You're not co-creating with the universe. You're closing doors. And you can overcome anything with a question. So this is where the question helps. You give someone, why we should not, it's not, why do we even have to expect anything from anyone? If you are so powerful and the universe is there to do everything you ask, it's your co-creator, why do I even expect? This is where the how gets out. I don't have to say this person will do this for me, this is how it will fall in place. I can expect from the universe to deliver, but it will not deliver the way I expect it. So I just trust the universe. I'm asking this, you're going to deliver. It may not be from this person who I think, or it's not because I gave this person, they're giving me back, but it'll definitely deliver one way or the other. So let me let go of how it'll happen. I just know it will fall in place. And for every time I get depressed, something is going to harm my own body. So let us not harm our own body. There are many people who don't like you. They have enough thoughts against you, so you don't have to do it to yourself. This is my favorite. It's becoming more or less my favorite quote. So what if you don't have to do that to yourself? So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And you can overcome it by asking a question. Choice. We're all infinite beings. Aren't you enough for yourself? Why? You don't have to be dependent on anyone for anything, because everything you desire will be handed to you when you don't have expectations or the dependency or the thought that someone has to support me. So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, poisonous. Yes, Jasmine, you have a question?
So many conclusions I had, so I just turned them into questions. Like, people were
How does
not
it get
showing
better?
for bar sweeps. Then I asked them, what will it take for these people to show up? And they started showing up. So people were not choosing change, and I just asked the question, what will it take for them to choose change? And it just happened.
Yes. So ask a question with the energy, it'll open doors. Everything will start happening. And that's the adventure, because we don't know if you don't tie how it'll happen and just trust that it'll happen, it happens. It falls in place in ways that you cannot imagine. And let me live as the question. It doesn't matter what happened now. The next moment, how does it get better? This moment, how does it get better? Doesn't matter what happened in the past at all. But the future the future is in your hands. How would you create your future? If you would like a better future, we have to start sowing the seeds now. If you like a mango tree, you have to plant the seed. So start asking questions now. That is what will create your future. And keep asking the question again and again, the same question, different questions at every step, so that things keep getting better and better. Any one step, if I stop questioning, I will limit what's happening. And that's why they say thinking is thinking. Let me not think against myself. Let me not think to stop what is happening. Yes, Usha?
Yeah, thank you for that. Good morning. And then I want to ask you, like, I went to my workplace and then they have a different look towards me, like that. Then I said, how does it get any better? And, like, I feel like I'm an alien there with nobody talking to me. Like then what can I be that to like I'm alone, to that environment, like an alien like that, but I recite that side, that how does it get any better, what else is possible, like that. I be in a question form, but then I feel like they are looking at me like an alien type. So how to cool that thing,
How can I frighten them with all my alien energy? Right, wrong, good, bad. You are different, embrace it. It's okay. That's their problem, not your problem. If they look at you like you're something different, completely their problem. And if you're being the question, no buts will happen. But I'm not comfortable. It's like, I am the question. I'm different. If you would like to be as different as me or as different as yourself, you're welcome. I'm not going to change for you. So everything that brought up and let down will you destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots. By the way, you don't belong anywhere. So don't try to fit in or belong with this person or that person or with anyone. And that's why you can read my book, A Place Called Home. You'll get all the belongings and fitting in and the whatever is happening in the head out. Because the whole earth belongs to you. You don't belong anywhere else. Would you like to live like that? Rather than I would like to fit in with the people in my office, belong with them. Would you like the whole earth to belong to you? Would you like all the weirdness to become you? That's a different adventure. And however hard you try to fit in, I tried so hard, I didn't get it. So then I said, okay, chuck that. I'm just going to allow the earth to belong to me. I'm going to write a book so that people get that they don't belong anywhere, but you can make everyone belong with you if you would like. That's a choice you have. Whether the other person likes you or not is not your choice, it's their choice. So I was like, that's what I'm going to choose. And my book is so amazing, even if I say so myself. Sometimes I have to ask questions to live up to the standards of my own book, but everything that brought up and let down, will you now destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, what about all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So everywhere you're trying so hard to fit in instead of being the question of change and possibility that you can truly be, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. How can we develop a positive aura? Okay. So the power of the question is, I may not know. How am I going to get a positive aura? I don't know. How am I going to create something beyond this reality? I don't know. But when I say, what can I be to create something beyond this reality? That will open the door. And how do I get there will also be shown. So much awareness will start coming. So when we ask a question, we start getting awareness. And even when you get the awareness or the possibilities, you have to choose here what feels light to you over what feels heavy, because so many doors will open up when you ask a question. So how do you get a positive aura? I can give you so many answers, but that's not what we're looking at. So you have to ask, what can I be to keep my aura even more positive? And everything that does not allow that, I now destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Then the fun is, someone will call you and say, maybe you can do this type of healing. These type of thoughts keep your aura positive. You start getting the awareness from everywhere, whether it's the internet, whether it's the people who talk to you, whether it's your own son, you don't know. It comes from so many different places. And I have been amazed at times by the things that my son says. He's like 10 now, but when he was 5, he will say something that will be so apt to the question that I've asked. So it comes one way or the other. You have to be willing to perceive that. And that's why we live in wonder. If I'm in wonder, I can perceive any solution or any possibility that the universe is giving me as this is light for me. If after I ask the question, I am like, okay, I've asked the question, I've tried the question, I've done the question, but it won't work. And then it's not changed. Then you're in a lot of judgment. And even if you have expectations, it has to change by today. When you're in a lot of judgment, whatever possibilities show up, you will not be able to perceive them. You will lose them. And what your son says will sound like a blabbering. This is not what I was looking for. You won't even connect it, that this is what you were looking for. So what can you be or do different? To ask the question and live in wonder and excitement, to enable your question to actualize so that you can ask an even greater question And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. And the thing is, sometimes when you ask the question, something that's so opposite happens. Like I still remember, I have at least 2-3 clients. They're like, I require more money. And after I've done bars for them, or after we did some sessions, they lost their job. So it has been the opposite. It's like, this person wants more money, but they lost their job. And those times they will call me and say, Nithya, I lost my job. And it wasn't funny. Now it's funny. That time it is not funny. It's not funny when someone says, my problem is money, do some healing for my money, and then they lose their job as soon as we do the healing. It's not at all funny. But then I was like, okay. And those times, these were words. I was like, okay, what can I say here? See, the universe always has something in better for you. Do not get scared of this. Do not panic. And that's just things I said, because I myself was panicking. I was like, oh my God, this is what I did. And the opposite has happened. But in 2 days, they get a better job. And they're like, it's even better than the previous one. And if I didn't get fired, I would have never gotten more money. So the universe, closing of one door is not a closure. It's actually an opening of better doors, 2 or 3 better doors. So that's what I've learned again and again. And relationships is even more funnier. People are like, I would like this person to come to, get together with me, and God knows what I do. But after that, they're like, that person left me. So right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. So then it's always opening a door to something better. Something better. By the way, I was just joking. There are some relationships which I have made work. Not me. People have made it work. So when I've just facilitated them, it can go either way when it works with relationships. But we ask for the truth. We ask for a possibility. And when you ask for a reality beyond anything, when you ask for a desire that is so great, like the whole planet should thrive, or I would like this much amount of money that's so much more than what I have, you have to be vibrationally congruent with that desire. So if you're asking for greatness, everything that does not match the greatness has to go, right? And so the not great situations will show up. Anything does not match the greatness that you're asking for. That's when we ask more questions. We don't give up based on the situation, saying that, oh no, this has happened again. I asked a question, everything went wrong. No, that job was not the greatest thing for you. And because you asked greatness, you got fired from the job. It seems like a very, as per this reality, getting fired from a job or losing a job is a huge deal. It's like a bad thing. But what if it's not? What if it was exactly what you required to get more? What that was the path. That is the universe showing you how to get what you asked for. And if you just start changing perspective that way, better things will open up, things you enjoy more, new jobs, things will start showing up. And this has happened again and again for many people I've worked with. So everything that brought up and led down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. When the situation seems not so good, we have to ask even more questions. You have to respond even more. And please ask questions. It is really powerful if you would like to change a lot of things. And the more, it happens, like people depress you, like Molika was asking the question, the more people don't match your expectations, the more people reject you. It's only for you to know, at least this is what I do. I'll say I'll be more kinder to myself. When someone treats me not so well, okay, I have to be even more kinder to myself. What can I be? To be even more kinder to myself today. And everything that does not allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive that, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. It's not about them. It's about you. How are you treating yourself? It's not about what they think of me or whether they match my expectations or not. It's about how I feel about myself. So when people, even the whole environment is harsh to you, you don't have to judge yourself. You be kind to yourself. Then you can shift everything with the power of a question. What can I be to be even more kind to myself than I've ever been before? And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. What if deep down the change we're all looking for is someone to be kind to us? And maybe others may be kind to you or not, but can you be kind to yourself? And when you're kind to yourself and someone else perceives the energy like, I'm allowed to be kind to myself, I'm allowed to like myself, what if they can start liking themselves because of that? Would you like to be that change? Or whatever it is. So, what is it that you're looking for the universe to give you? What is it that you're looking for others to give you? Can you be that for yourself first? So, everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so what can I be? To ask questions, being vibrationally compatible with the question I ask, and being as kind as I can be to myself. And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So would you guys choose to ask more questions? Be extremely kind to yourself. Okay, I will take one last question. If anyone has a question.
Yeah, Nithya, I want to ask you that questions like in one sentence should be 2 questions or 3 questions. It's on us, right? I mean to say, the lengthier the question, universe will not get mixed up, right?
No, universe doesn't get mixed up. It is we who get mixed up. If you mix it up, the universe will mix it up. It's like what you do, the universe will say, okay, you're right. You have messed up the question, so I will mess up the solution. But the universe never is very clear. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all night. So with what level of clarity can I ask this question? So everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. We cannot hide from the universe. What you think is what the universe gives you. So if you're like, I asked a question, I did this, I did that, I didn't get it from the universe, probably you're not fully aware of what exactly your point of view is or what exactly you've been thinking. So then you say, what is the underlying point of view that I'm holding on to, that I'm not aware of? Everything that is times a godzillion, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So ask questions for fun. Keep on saying, how does it get better than this? Just for fun. The more you ask it for fun, with no expectations, it works even better. And what if everything you do in life, you can have fun with it? How do I sort this problem, big problem? Let's say it's a big problem. With how much ease can I sort this big problem? What can I be to sort it with ease? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Anything that shows up, so we can change with questions. So please ask questions that empower you, things that make you wonder and feel better, not things that make you feel wrong or say that, what did I do to that person for him to behave like this? Those are not questions. So everything that brought up and let down, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Okay, on that note, we will be closing this call. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope some way I made you, propagated you towards asking more questions. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Nithya.
Thank you, Nithya.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, madam.
Yeah, every
madam.
class is better than
Thank you,
before.
Nithya, so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Nithya ma'am.
Thank you.
Nithya, you are
Gratitude.
absolutely fantabulous. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I heard a lot of
Nithya.
good words. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Bye.
grateful.
Bye.
Thank you, Nithya.
Thank you very much, Nithya.
Bye.